All right, day 3 of Celtics Training Camp is in the books. The Celtics coming off of a day yesterday where it was a lockout day here at the Auerbach Center. That means no players are allowed, no coaches are allowed. Everyone stay home, stay with your family. Abby, it wasn't the same way today. They were back inside the Auerbach Center and running. It sounds like these guys are practicing pretty hard, huh?
Sam Cassell said that he's been in the league for 30-some-odd years, and this is the hardest training camp he has ever been a part of. So I think that tells you everything you need to know. According to Joe, that I asked that specifically, and he said there's some recency bias there. I'm sure there is a little bit, but I do think that there's no question the intensity and the pace of this training camp has been on another level.
And we're going to touch on that a little bit more later on in the show. But right now, we got a chance to talk with Neemias Queta. And before we dive into that conversation, Abby, what are your expectations for the big 7-footer coming into this season where he's got a real opportunity to possibly start for this team?
Expectations are high, astronomical. I mean, I think there's
almost
so much.
as high as he is, right?
Exactly, especially relative to you. You'll see. Both of us. But Neemi has an opportunity here, and that's something that he is very aware of. He's the only 7-footer on this roster. The Celtics need size, and Neemi can provide that for them. And this being his 3rd year in the system, he spoke about just how much more familiar and comfortable he is with everything, and he's feeling healthy. We saw what he can do on the floor as a major piece in Eurobasket, and so I think the sky's the limit for Neemi this season.
Well, he's also dripping a little bit of confidence, and you might hear that a little bit. He stopped by right at this desk just a few moments ago. Take a listen to our conversation with Neemias Queta. All right, Neemias Queta stopped over. He was just practicing some three-pointers back here. I didn't think you were doing that this year. That's what you told us on media day.
Yeah, man. Like it's more about like keeping it sharp. You never know when you might need to use it. So, and it's cool to compete against guys on that too. So it's
maybe some like end of quarter shots that you get up and the buzzer's about to sound.
Yeah, I don't want to script it because it's too many possibilities on the game, and whenever the moment comes, I shoot it with confidence because I got the muscle memory. So
I'm looking forward to
That's what I'm looking
seeing
forward to.
All right, let's dive right into it. As we talked about on media day, we're going to talk about it right now. But this is a front court competition. Like it's open. Joe Mazzulla's been open to the media about that. Like all of you guys have a chance to steal major minutes. Take us inside. Like, what's it been like competing with these guys so far? Who has looked really good? How have you felt so far? Just take us behind closed doors of what that's been like.
Yeah, it's been a good competition, I'd say. Every one of us interior players, I feel like is unique in their own way. Like you got guys that can space the floor and be defending on the perimeter, like X. Chris is a perimeter guy that can hit threes and still be lanky, go get offensive rebounds, switch too. I'm protecting the rim, getting good screens, making my finishes under the rim, be a force in the paint. Luka is a little bit of everything too. A workhorse. He's gonna outwork a lot of people. So I think it's all about committee. At the end of the day, we got to go out there and just play as hard as we can for the amount of minutes that we're in, and let everything figure itself out. Like I said, Joe said during the year it's going to be different lineups during the whole year and different closing lineups as well. So you just got to be prepared, and it's going to be a lot of ups and downs, and be ready for when your moment comes. Because like I said, we're going to be throwing a lot at teams, and we all just got to be prepared.
It's funny that you say everyone does something different, because I feel like that's actually what happened the last couple of years, right? Like Luke had something different than Al, and Kristaps had something different than you. Like everyone kind of complemented each other. Do you feel like that might kind of be what this group comes together as well?
Yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal. Like the last couple of years, we had such a good luxury of having all those guys at the big position, and like we couldn't really. Me and X being here for that long, we couldn't really crack the rotation because those guys were so good. But like I said, we were here to learn with them and be learning how to figure out to play in the court and be effective. So when this moment came, like we already got the steps, like the founding steps, the bricks are laid on, and we just got to go at it with the great mindset and attack it every night, because you never know what the game might need.
For you, coming into this year, like physically, do you feel any different? Because, you know, the biggest thing for Luke Kornet when he was here and he kind of took that next step is he said he felt different physically, like his body changed a little bit. Have you felt that at all since you got here a few years ago, that your body and strength has changed a little bit?
Yeah, with time I've been working so much on the weight room with the guys, with staff here. We've been able to attack some of my weaknesses and just get stronger in those. And I feel like in general my body's getting stronger, and I'm able to control my body a lot better. I'm able to stay in front of guys, able to maintain positioning without losing control of my arms. So things like that go a long way, and I feel like it'll show this year.
Do you care at all about starting versus coming off the bench? Does it even matter to you? Because Peyton, just won Sixth Man of the Year last year. He came into media day. He's like, I don't care. He's like, would it be great to start? Sure, but it doesn't really matter in the end.
Like I said, I'm not really thinking about that right now. Like I said, it's going to be a long year. I might start a couple games. X might start a couple games. Chris might start. Luka, Murray. Like we got a bunch of options and at the end of the day, what matters is winning. Nobody in Boston. Nobody really remembers individual players. They remember teams. So whenever we go out there and we compete, we try to win. That's the main thing.
I love that
If we keep on winning,
line.
we're good.
They remember teams, not individuals. All right, last one for you. What's been the best part of camp so far? Like the funnest moment or most memorable moments for you so far?
Just the individual challenges, I'd say. A lot of guys been going one-on-one in general, just in front of everybody. Energy gets riled up in the practice facility, right? When those moments happen, and it's fun to see guys competing, going at each other's necks, and making each other better at the end of the day. That's what we're here for, and when the year comes, I feel like we got a greater chance when we do things this way.
Soon enough, you'll actually be able to compete against another team, so that'll be nice, right? Just
Yeah,
a few
it's
days
about
away
time.
from the
It's
first
about
preseason
time.
game. So, Neemi, appreciate the time, man. Good luck this season, man.
Yes, sir. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. All right, you heard it right there from Neemias Queta. He actually thinks that this front court, all of the guys complement each other and do a little bit something different. And as you just heard, I was standing there, I'm like, hold on, that sounds like the front court from the last couple of years. What's your reaction to that?
I think that's true. I do think it helps breed competition, which is something that everyone we've spoken to in this camp has talked about. And so, yes, while each guy has a different strength, it's a matter of finding out how those strengths can fit into the larger system that the Celtics are trying to play.
Yeah. And how it fits around the core players of this team, right? Because as we know, these guys that are coming in and competing for these starting jobs and these big minutes in the front court, they're not Jaylen Brown.
No.
They're not Derek White. And they know that. And they know they're not Sam Hauser, not Peyton Pritchard. Those are the core guys of this team. And until Jason Tatum comes back, then he's a part of that, obviously. But these guys have to figure out how they are going to accentuate the best players on the team, because that's how you win games in the NBA. So I did think that was very interesting to hear that from him. And we're just going to have to see how it shakes out during the preseason of, like, how do those guys' skills complement the core the best.
I'm very excited to see that work out on the court.
It's coming out soon.
And see those guys and this conditioning, the level of conditioning that they will have to reach here in training camp to be able to play with those guys and continue to create open opportunities for everyone else.
Well, speaking of conditioning, you want to talk about the hardest drill that the Celtics have done all preseason so far in training camp? Spike ball, apparently.
Have you ever played spike ball?
I have played. Me and my friends, we call it friend ender, because everyone who loses is always mad at their teammate that they were playing with.
I didn't realize that.
In my head, I'm like, is Joe trying to make these guys mad at each other and, like, get a little bit of, angst inside training camp a little bit?
I'm just not sure it is the same on the floor. Usually you play it on the beach, right?
Yeah,
You're supposed to be able, and it's a lot harder to get up and down in the sand.
Anyway,
Yes.
Joe Mazzulla is using spike ball as an opportunity to kind of build this team together. He spoke about that today to the media. Take a listen to what he had to say about spike ball right here being played at the Auerbach Center.
I think it's the closest thing to a 2-on-2 situation that you have to communicate. It's a read. You have to read the angle of where it's being put at. You have to read the angle of your teammate. You have to be able to get through it. It's a 2-on-2 situation. So that's a lot of what the game is. You're in 2-on-2, 3-on-3 situations. Very rarely are you in a 5-on-5 situation. Maybe if you're switching everything at the end of the game, but the game is a constant ecosystem of small 2-on-2s, 3-on-3s, and being able to create those an advantage and a disadvantage. So those 2-on-2 games create that. They test your reaction time. They test your ability to communicate. They test your ability to create angles. So I think those things it's another way to simulate what you're going through on every possession of the game.
All right, Abby, we saw spike ball. A little bit of footage was going on the Celtics YouTube page. We saw it on the Snapchat page. Make sure you go and follow those channels. What's your reaction to these guys actually playing and Joe talking about it today? I didn't think he was going to address it at all, but he did today.
No, I did follow up with Joe and asked, what is a rondo? He told me that I have
Yeah,
to
he
look
said
that
go
up.
research
We're all
it.
going to have to go look that up. I haven't had a chance to Google it yet. But I do take away all of the positives of that game and honestly playing any game. And to me, that was just illuminating in the way that Joe goes through life. Like, don't you think Joe goes into every game, any sort of competition, anything, and is like, how can I use this to get a better opportunity? Number one, to learn how to beat other people
Yeah.
at this game, but also, how can I use this in my coaching? And what skills are these games teaching us? And I think that that's a really interesting way to go through life.
The most interesting thing that I took from is that someone asked him about, like, why spike ball? And I thought he was just going to be like, oh, I thought it was a fun way that we could open every day camp. No, there was actually a reason behind it. And
There's
he's
a
like,
reason behind everything he does.
He's like, this is the way that we can compete and learn how to have 2-on-2s against other teams, how to adjust to angles. And in my head, I'm like, oh my God, yeah, you do have to adjust to angles while you're
Rebounding.
playing
Yes,
spike
you're
ball.
right, yeah.
So it was very interesting that there was like a purpose behind it. It wasn't
Yep.
just something for these guys to have fun at the start of every day of
No.
camp. There is a purpose behind it, and that purpose is to help build the team, compete in 2-on-2 situations against each other, and also to learn reacting to angles. So I
Yeah.
just thought that was very interesting. That he
But
said that.
hopefully in a playful, positive way, not the way you're playing with your friends in the,
Yeah,
what'd
that's
you call it, the
friend-
friendship
we call
ender.
That friend
Yes.
ender.
I don't
Well,
think that.
Hopefully
that's
this
what's
is
happening.
a friend builder
Yes.
here at the Auerbach
I think
Center
that's the
with
goal.
the Celtics team. Derek White was one of the other guys who spoke today. Real quick before we wrap, I wasn't over there. What'd you take out of what he had to say today?
Defense, defense, defense. Also, which we know is Derek White's calling card, one of them calling cards, but also consistency. And I think that that's something that you look at Derek White and you know how good he is, and I think it's finally getting out around the league how good he is and what he does for a team. But he is even of the mindset that he knows there are things that he can get better at, and one of his main focuses this season is that consistency and to be that guy, to be able to bring it night in and night out for this team.
And he also said that this has been a very difficult, we opened with this with Sam Cassell, but he said this has been a difficult
Yes.
and challenging training camp so far. My estimation is that Joe is really trying to get these guys in shape so that they can outplay and outlast every opponent throughout the entire season. So it'll be interesting to see that hit the
Yeah.
court on October 8th? When we got
Yes.
the Memphis Grizzlies game, you'll be on the
On
sidelines for that one?
NBC Sports Boston.
Yeah,
We
can't
will
wait
be
for
in
it.
Memphis. I do think, and that's why I mentioned it with the spike ball, there is a purpose for everything that Joe does. So the fact that he is making this training camp as grueling as possible, we will see that play out on the floor. That is something that this team, these guys are going to need throughout this season as they want to play faster, make decisions faster, but also put a lot of pressure on defenses.
That's it. All right, the name of the game. All right, that's a wrap on day 3 of training camp. We'll be back with you on Monday for another show. Until then, enjoy the weekend, folks. We'll see you on Monday. And then again, repeat, NBC Sports Boston, October 8th. It's the Celtics visiting the Grizzlies for the first preseason game of the year. Enjoy the weekend, folks.
Can't wait.